We are live. Alright. So, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with special guest, the one and only Mouse Rebel, Jason Unruhe. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
I am Jason Unruhe. You might have heard of me.
Yeah. I think everyone has heard of you.
Oh, you want to give me a link to this so that I can tweet it out?
Oh, yeah, I'll give it. Let me get the link. Wait for it. I'll send it on Skype. Alright. Here you go. Check Skype.
Okay, I will tweet this out.
Damn, we got no viewers. For some reason. But, do you want to get started on the questions or basically with the introduction?
Hey, it's your show.
Alright, let's start with the questions. Alright. So, question 1, I want to ask, why do we need MRN youth in the first place?
Well, why do we need MRN Youth?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said MRN News. Okay. MRN Youth. Well, basically,
yeah.
I think it's particularly important to let young people speak for themselves, because I do remember being a youth and being told to shut up. So I think it's important that young people be given an opportunity to speak to their own particular experiences and the challenges that they faced. I mean, that's not to say that I wasn't a teenager at one time. I was a teenager 25 years ago. And I can tell you in the past 25 years, that's completely changed. There are problems that teenagers face today that I didn't face back then. Problems that, frankly, just didn't exist. So I can't stand there as, I can't be there to represent that when it's not a part of me and when it's not necessary. It's not like when you've got people in the third world who no one hears that you're trying to bring their message forward. There are people here who can do that, people like you. So it's not necessary for me to do that. I try to give a voice to the voiceless. Well, say you're not voiceless. You got a chance to say what you got to say, to speak directly to the particular issues that are facing young people today. And that's where you come in. That's where MRN Youth comes in to deal with those unique challenges. Yeah.
I basically agree with your point, as well as like other people told me, like basically for like to like for this, for example, like how like other ideological groups have like their own little youth groups, and like also like to build like safe spaces as well for young people entirely.
Yeah, and when we say safe spaces, we mean a space where the youth can talk. We're not talking like SJW nonsense. We're talking like a place where this particular group of individuals can express their ideas without being censored by another group.
Yeah. That's like basically kind of the basis of MRN Youth and like its aim and kind of its goal, really. To the people who like don't know what MRN Youth is, I'll give them a little bit of an explanation. It's the organization that I run now. LOL. But yeah, that's my mini explanation to everybody who's watching. All right, let's get on with the next question I want to ask you about. Wait, it's loading. So this is kind of an important question I want to ask. What is the difference between the global class divide theory and the ideology of Maoism, third worldism?
Okay. The global class divide theory essentially comes from MLM theory. That's where it was kind of born from, but has taken on a new life, another I would consider a stage of its own. All you have to do is watch most of my content from like 2016 to 2018, and you would get a pretty good understanding of the global class divide theory. So basically, Maoism, third worldism is a short way of saying a lot of long-winded words: Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, third worldism, which I and many other people would consider to be a new stage that's rejected by the vast majority of ML and MLM.
Yeah. Like, I hear people like bring up this with like when they reject like third worldism, really. Like, I've seen like, for example, how some people I met, like, they reject third worldism, but they embrace like three worlds theory instead, where they were what were you
Well,
gonna
that
say?
would do it.
Yeah,
You
as well
couldn't
as
support three worlds theory and support third worldism, because that wouldn't make any sense.
oh, I said like they reject third worldism but support three worlds theory.
Yeah, you couldn't support three worlds theory and be a third worldist. It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like, for example, like I remember like they mentioned this, like it's like from Gonzalo supporters, I would say. Basically, like they say this, like Maoism third worldism is not Maoism. It's what was it? They say some shit like Gonzalo rejects Maoism third worldism and shit like that, and they attack like Lin Biao and third worldists and all that shit.
Well, it's not third worldism. Maoism is not third worldism. Well, they are correct in saying that, and we don't claim that it is. We claim that it's a stage beyond Maoism. So so what they're yelling about, that doesn't disprove anything. Third worldism is not Maoism. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
So what's your point? Gonzalo rejects it. Okay. So something is wrong because Gonzalo says it's wrong.
Yeah.
And no
like,
cult of personality there.
Yeah, am I right, guys? Like,
okay, well, I say Gonzalo's wrong. Now what?
Then they're gonna just go like, you can't say our base chairman Gonzalo, who did nothing wrong, it is wrong, or any of that shit. I bet. Sorry, I think I'm gonna piss off my audience if I do that, but it's fine. The other thing, it's kind of like funny as well. Like, I also hear this. Like, I learned this when I got in contact with the Naxals. Where I learned this, they like kind of believe in like they believe in like Maoism third worldism. Is that correct? Is that correct or something?
It depends on the Naxal group. There are the Naxals are a loose amalgamation of a lot of different groups that are very atomized. No one group, if you find support for it in one group, that doesn't necessarily mean that they all do it. But when I've spoken to people in the Naxals, they say, yes, third worldism actually does make a lot of sense to them. Imagine that third worldism is supported by third world people.
Yeah. Like, the other thing is, like, I remember, like, this is one of the factions I got in contact to. I don't know if you know this faction. The CPIML. They're also like an illegal party as well.
Vaguely.
Have you heard of them? All right. Yeah, that's like one of the members I got in contact with, and I think we might like do a podcast together sometime.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Yeah, but he hasn't gotten back to me about it yet. So, oh damn, 12 people are already watching this. I didn't expect this many people be watching me and the
No, I don't.
Mouse Rebel talking. LOL. But uh, let's get on with the next question I want to ask. Do you believe in a protracted struggle? And if so, how do we explain this to our confused ML comrades?
Okay, well, I do believe in protracted struggle. All of the history of Maoism and the practical application of Maoism has shown this to be something that works. And in fact, you can show when people have deviated from it, it has caused collapse. It's had negative consequences. I think that what a lot of ML cadres have a hard time understanding it. I think it's because the wave of ML revolution was different than the wave of revolutions that happened under Maoism. You had the Bolshevik experiment come through at a time of, well, everything completely destroyed because of World War I. And then as a result, you've had a lot of traditional worker struggles, kind of struggles going on in Europe at the time. And a lot of it very much had the experience and the power of the Soviet Union behind it, where they could go through a traditional, very workers-led struggle because Europe was more advanced than the places who would later on become active under Maoist revolution. So I think that it's taking how revolution could be done and adapting it to the particular conditions of the underdeveloped countries in the world, particularly with the way China was. That they had their own conditions. They had to fight off a Japanese invasion, allying with the nationalists in order to do that. So I think that difference would explain a lot of that, because they still have the mentality that a traditional workers, proletarian movement is going to work in the advanced nations, or what we now today call the first world countries. But as we've seen over, frankly, the last 100 years, that has not been successful. Even the Black Panthers, who were more successful than anybody, certainly attributed much to protracted struggle, although they hadn't really moved into that full-on revolutionary movement yet.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Like,
makes
as well
sense.
as like, yeah, as well as like when I was like doing kind of like some research as well, like when it came to like protracted people's war, protracted struggle, like I learned a bit where I heard this like about Chairman Gonzalo basically making protracted people's war universal, or protracted struggle universal, or something like that. That's what people claim.
I have heard people claim that, and I would actually tend to agree that is true. Before then, really, it had only been something that had been proven in the situation of China. And it's one thing to say that it works here, that it will automatically work everywhere. Gonzalo did manage to prove that it would work in places outside of China. So Gonzalo does definitely deserve credit for that.
Yeah. Also, everybody like a lot of people think you hate Gonzalo. Like, I don't think like literally. Yeah, like Jason does not hate Gonzalo. We're gonna make that clear. Jason does not hate Chairman Gonzalo. He just disagrees with people who claim that he's like the sixth head of Marxism, or the fourth sword of Marxism, or basically like kind of their fan, or kind of is like super fans, or what we would call Gonzaloites or some shit like that. That's kind of.
I think it's important to avoid that. I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff that Mao did that I'm really not happy with. So essentially, you take the theory that worked, and you reject the theory that didn't work. And Mao did some reactionary things, like meeting with Nixon. It's not like, I have to uphold that. You take what works, and you reject what doesn't work. I mean, that's That's science.
Yeah,
And Marxism is supposed to
but
be the science of revolution. And in cases, Gonzalo was correct. And because of those,
yeah.
particularly with proving the universality of people's war potential, etc., should be recognized for that.
Mm-hmm. Like the other thing is like I have my disagreements like with like some decisions Mao did, like one meeting with Nixon, as well as like kind of giving uh oh damn it. I'm getting some hojis in the chat now. LOL. But like I disagree with Mao like when it came to like him bringing back Deng and Zhu Enlai back into the party after they were purged from the party during the Cultural Revolution because
Yeah.
he
And
believed invasion was going to happen.
I believe that he did that for himself. Mao brought them back in as allies, although he had previously denounced them. I think Mao was being purely opportunistic when he did it.
Yeah.
And again, he can be rightfully criticized for doing so. That doesn't really mean that Maoism is proven wrong in any degree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the other thing is uh like people think like like there's like some dogmatic bullshit I hear against Maoism and people call Maoists like neo-trots or some shit. Or basically accuse us of being feds or shit like that. It's just funny and just laughable in my opinion.
Yeah, that's just snitch
Like,
jacking. If you're going to accuse
yeah.
people of being, police agents, you should really provide some evidence of that.
Yeah. Like
So,
I've exposed a fed before, like publicly multiple times. Like his name is Default. He's a part of this one org, but I won't name the org. Where he was known for he actually has a history of doing some wrecker behavior and shit like that, which I exposed in a playlist that I put on my channel where it talks about the petitioners the and the People's Party and shit that Jimmy Dore is pushing. But that's kind of a little off topic. But all right, let's move on to the next question. So wait, it's loading. It says, okay, question 4. How do we combat liberalism in our time?
oh man, there's a real easy way to give that. To call names, to incite hatred, to vent spite rather than engage in ideological debate. This is X type liberalism. And that's a massive, massive problem as it is right now. I mean, name calling and just wrecking against people rather than engaging in principled debate is, oh my God, that's like the main thing that's going on now. At least I think so.
Like, yeah. Like, and also liberalism has adapted into, what was it? Radical liberalism now, where like like,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was using liberalism as in the way Mao defined it in combat liberalism. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Then yes, that would
Oh,
also
it's
include rejecting the rad lib concessionists.
yeah. Like, as well as I learned this in a little bit where like with radical liberalism, like holy fucking shit. Radical liberalism is just fucking crazy, and it's a new weird adaptation where you have people like Vaj, Vanderhall, and all these other fucks who are like who claim to be like some socialists and shit like that, but they're not, and they just turn out to be like some liberals or rad libs entirely.
Yeah, when
With
somebody says that they're for the radical and they're for the socialism, they're for the revolution, and then turn around and tell you to vote blue no matter who, that's usually a pretty good sign.
yeah, Jason, Your camera is frozen on my end or something. I'll
Did?
just reload my thing. Yeah, it's kind of frozen on my end. Let me reload the StreamYard link for me.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sure. Yay, it's not frozen anymore.
Yeah, I don't see any freeze.
I think the chat I think basically it was happening just on my end, and everybody who was watching this live didn't see you like freeze or anything like that.
Oh,
So at
well,
least that's good.
problem solved, whatever.
Yay. But like, yeah, it's telling when people tell you to vote for Biden because oh, we're gonna go push him left, guys. Guys, we're gonna go push him left.
And then be like Sanderthal and choose a position that's further right than Biden is
Yeah,
by
and then literally,
supporting the occupation of Afghanistan.
yeah, he's like, no one cares about Iraq, no one cares about Afghanistan or shit like that. Hot take. I don't believe we should take out the troops out of Afghanistan.
Oh, okay.
God,
I
that
think
is
the
like
Afghans and the Iraqis might care, but what about I guess they
yeah.
don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, like the other crazy thing I heard this when I was like reading an article where literally they said this they were supposed to like China was going to come into Afghanistan once like the US got out, but I don't think the US has taken out their troops or anything out of Afghanistan. They were supposed to do that yesterday. Did they even do that
Yeah,
at all?
some troops, some troops have been pulled out. Keep in mind that they did say they would have all of the troops out by September 11th, so they've still got a couple of months to actually get that done.
Oh yeah. Oh wait,
But
you
I
got
mean,
some
if U.S. interests pull out of Afghanistan, of course Chinese interests, not necessarily Chinese troops, but Chinese interests are going to
yeah.
move in. Well, yeah, they're going to try to make deals with them and whatnot. Yeah, that's only natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, we got some jokes in the chat. Iraq war was 20 years ago. Who cares? AKA the red lips. The US Army should just occupy Xander Hall and Vosh's house to stop them from preying on vulnerable fans.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, that's funny. Plenty of oil around Vosh is greasy Fulton. The slime ball. Occupy the White House.
Yeah, do it.
Holy fuck.
I think they tried occupying the Capitol. Didn't work that well.
Yeah. Yeah, it only lasted for like 4 hours.
And then
See,
they
that's the longest
voluntarily
time.
went home.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is kind of funny. I was gonna say. I remember Specky V made this comment when Chada and Tifa was destroying Bosch with facts and logic. Where he's like, Bosch does not like planned economies because he can't because they ban child porn.
Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Bosch is a pedo. Everyone should know that. Fuck Bosch. Bosch is a pedo. We're just gonna be like Mao, which just got me on a strike on YouTube where he's like, I order the red guards to kill all Boschites or some shit like that.
See, you can't be doing that because we need you to stay here. If you keep saying stuff like that, you're gonna be gone.
Well, I didn't actually say it. It was actually some video clip that I posted that I found on Discord in a Mao server.
Yeah, just be careful because we don't want you getting taken down.
Yeah. Bosch Kelly. Oh my god. We're just making Bosch jokes. LOL.
Yeah, let's get back to the
let's
interview.
get to the topic at hand. Okay. Now, question 5. Will there ever be peace with the Mouse Rebel fans and Malpinites?
Why should there be any hostilities to begin with? I don't even see
Yeah.
a reason. Like, okay, yeah, I disagree. Yes, so what? I disagree with a lot of people, but like, this isn't like a friggin' war or something. This is just a disagreement on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like one person is, well, one of us is Hoja and the other is Mao or something.
Yeah.
It's just two guys on the internet. There's no
Yeah.
need for a war to begin with. It's just it's just dumb. Like tone down the rhetoric, guys. There's no need for like hostilities. If you want to, you want
Yeah.
to debate ideas, go ahead. That's what we should do. But like, there's no need for a war here.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
There's no need to go guns blazing at each other, guys. There's like basically the fans are just going like at it with each other where they're just guns blazing with each other. I
Yeah, go guns.
remember like sometimes I saw in my comment section before where literally they just go guns blazing at each other.
Yeah, if you
It's
want to
just
go guns
funny.
blazing against somebody, go guns blazing against Nazis.
Yeah. Participate in anti-fascist action.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I
They
think that's something we can all agree on here.
Oh wait, somebody said this. Then a Maupin fan docs Trav. Oh, that's Enigma. Enigma basically docs Trav. He is a Maupin fan, but I know Caleb did not order that at all.
No, I know Caleb.
Yeah,
He wouldn't have ordered that.
yeah,
No,
Caleb would
he
never
wouldn't have.
order that. It's just basically Caleb's fan base, which is cough cough cultish, and basically even go beyond Caleb, where even Caleb doesn't even see it.
Yeah, it's not acceptable to dox people. Well, it's not
Yeah,
acceptable to dox other Marxists. You want to
yeah.
dox Nazis? Go ahead. Fuck them.
Yeah, go ahead with that. Uh, yeah, it's like kind of crazy, like with like with the whole thing with like the Mouse Rebel news fans and Caleb fans just going guns blazing at each other. Oh hey, Marxist Leninist Mouse Revolution. But let's get back to the questions at hand. So, question 7. Do you agree that gun control... Oh, wait. No, not question 7.
Yeah, I think the
Question
answer to
6.
that one's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Question 6. How is the purge of the Nas balls going?
Okay,
This is
well,
kind of
look,
a joke question.
I don't know why they just like jumped onto me like leeches, because I was never for them. And
Yeah.
I don't dog whistle anything. In fact, people really hate me because I do say the things I think, even if they don't like it. I mean, that's one of the things that's gotten me in a lot of trouble, has been very directly, forwardly saying things and then getting shit for it afterwards. But I, I digress. Basically,
Yeah.
I've tried to make it very clear. I'm not dog whistling you. I'm not supporting you.
Yeah.
This is not okay. Your ideology doesn't make any sense, and
Yeah.
go away. But
Yeah.
still, you get it from time to time. Somebody shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. We hate Nas balls here. We're just going to start purging them. We're just going to do audience purging. LOL, which I've been doing recently, and I already like lost 5 subscribers at over the night because I posted a video talking about how Cuba is a sugar colony of the USSR, and I actually used some documents proving it. But that's a little off topic. But it's kind of funny how like Nosballs try to latch onto you and like you're like, no, fuck these people, like it's like Nosballs are just laughable as fuck, and like we don't need any Nosballs in our audiences at all. We're just gonna do the purging. We're just gonna start purging. Based purging. We're just gonna go guns blazing. Alright.
Yeah, aim the guns in the
Back
right direction.
yeah. Long lit hands off my guns. That's what we're basically going to do. We're just gonna be like hands off our guns, guys. Oh, damn it. Open this. Uh, next question I was gonna ask. Do you agree that gun control is right wing?
It is dominated by the right wing, but it is not necessarily a right wing thing. Obviously, anybody who's an anarchist or a communist would be absolutely pro-gun. I mean, it's pretty obvious that if anybody had the idea that they wanted to overthrow the government or defend themselves from the government, then they would support firearm ownership. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, to do the opposite just wouldn't make any sense. So I would say yes, the right wing position does dominate it, because in terms of demonizing gun ownership, pointing out a lot of the nut bar stuff on the right, it does a pretty good job of trying to get it banned and being used as a justification for getting it banned. But it's not exclusively their thing. I would say that in this idea, we would actually share the idea of gun ownership, although for different reasons.
Yeah, like the other thing is like for like there's like people on the left who are trying to like claim who are trying to basically claim claim the position of supporting gun control, which is a bad idea. Like for real, like you ain't gonna get anybody from, if you're in the United States here, you're not gonna get anybody's support. Like in a state like mine in West Virginia, you're not gonna get anybody's support here because if you're for gun control, like no, we like our guns. We don't want anybody taking them at all. Like you ain't confiscating our weapons.
Yeah, I would say you cannot be a leftist and support gun control. Sorry.
Yeah, gun control is fascist in my opinion. Fuck gun control. But let's get into the next question. Wait. Hey, can you tell me more about the legal deterrence in the first world?
Okay, so basically, anybody who's with an honest eye knows that there's no revolution happening in the first world anytime soon. In fact, its history has really pretty much shown us the opposite, that it's not been largely applicable to the first world. But there's what you can do by taking legal actions to preserve people's rights, to preserve certain freedoms. Like, for example, defending guns. It's perfectly legal to defend gun ownership in the United States. And that is a legal struggle that should be supported, to defend the right to own firearms. When the police do things that they shouldn't be doing, making the police be held accountable for what it is that they do. Hell, if it's possible, sue the cops. I mean, that's easier said than done, I know, but if you got the opportunity, do it. It's completely legal. They can't do anything about it. And you're not putting yourself, you're not doing anything illegal so they can arrest you. I mean, there's plenty of legal things you can do right now that would help the situation. And those are avenues that should be pursued until things reach a point where there is such a great chaos that revolution is happening.
Yeah. Like, for example, like people like we need to like start like being able to do like legal deterrence when it comes to guns, or like for example, like with big media companies doing like censorship, like for example, like they bury your channel under the algorithm where like it's not even getting the views and subscribers that it should be getting. Like basically
legally there's nothing I can do about it, because you're not it's not a part of the terms of service that you agree to, that they're going to treat you fairly with regards to the algorithm. So in that
Yeah.
case, there's nothing I can do. But holding corporations accountable for restrictions on freedom of speech is definitely something that we could do.
Yeah. Like, you have been here on YouTube longer than me, like 12 or like 13 years.
12 and a half.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. And like my account has like been here for a while, but I actually like I only started making the channel like a couple of months ago. Oh. So there's that. Oh wait, Ned said something. We can use the legal deterrence to keep ourselves on YouTube with the help of the sympathetic academics like Dr. Weisfeld. People are saying terms of services are fascist.
That's the way they're written. I mean,
Yeah.
there you go. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember. I stand Kim Jong Un, but can't stand Trump. Like he got his original channel taken down, where he had like over 100 subs,
why?
and it got taken down for some reason. I don't know, pro DPRK content.
Is that it? Just I don't hate the DPRK. Oh, you're gone now.
What? Oh wait, what?
Yeah. If you're pro DPRK, they get you taken down. Well, there you go. Just say,
Oh, yeah.
I don't hate the DPRK. Now you're gone.
Yeah, we don't hate the DPRK. Yeah. As well as like the other thing is like for like YouTube censorship, I've been seeing it go everywhere where like people are losing their like losing, what was it? Monetization, what was it? Getting their channels taken down. Like I remember there was this one channel I know called The Last American Vagabond where they got their original channel with like 100,000 subs taken down. Boom, like that. Snap of the fingers. And they just recently got their channel back on.
Did they say why it was taken down?
I don't know. Maybe basically when they were telling like the truth about like the COVID vaccine, saying it's like not like rushed and maybe not gonna work and shit like that. I don't know. Like I don't remember the full reason, but like I remember one of my friends who lost their monetization lost it. What was it? There was like some huge purge of channels, like like from the Jimmy Dore sphere them in contact with, like they lost their monetizations with a snap of their fingers, saying they violated YouTube's terms of service or some shit like that, which they found no evidence of it, of them violating YouTube's terms of service at all.
Yeah, they did the same thing to Press TV. Just say violation of terms of service, and they say, well, what terms of service? And then they just don't respond.
Yeah. Like Press TV's channel is gone, and the only Press TV videos I can find is the ones where you just basically appear on Press TV.
Oh, you can go to they're still on Dailymotion. They're still on a website called Your Medium, urmedium.com. You can find them there too.
I think they're still on Twitter as well.
Yeah, the Twitter accounts are still there.
Yeah.
But I was saying in terms of in terms of the videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll check it out. But next question. Where somebody asked me this. 9. Why do you like to struggle with Dangus? They're such assholes. Because like they're such assholes towards me. Why can't we correct the Gonzaloites? Question mark.
I think it's different for both of them. I think it's important to separate Ding theory from Western Dingism first, and then realize there are Dingist and Marxist-Leninist tendencies towards Deng Xiaoping theory, like Red Scare TV. And I don't think anybody can say Red Scare TV is bad. There's no way.
Yeah,
He's not bad. That would be some
Yeah,
pretty bullshit. There are even some third
yeah,
worldists
like
with tendencies towards Deng Xiaoping theory that I've seen, and which I and most third worldists struggle against. We're not pro Deng, but there are some who are pro Deng. The difference is that the Gonzaloists, they have a very cult like mindset, and they're not an actual tendency. Like you know what I mean? Like Dengism is a tendency, whereas the Gonzaloism really isn't. It's just these first worldist red guards that go around with these ideas, and oftentimes you get these red guard groups misrepresenting Gonzalo thought and the MLM tendency of being principally Maoist. They have this rejection of the lumpen, which is also a testament to how much they don't really understand a lot of things. I don't want to say too much at this time because I'm getting sick of them and not just attacking me, but other people that I am trying to promote. I mean, you want to hate me, fine, hate me. It's not like I'm not used to it. But I mean, like when you're going around
right.
attacking other people, like me trying to lift up other people, they're trying to beat them down. It's like, what are you trying to do? Like, what is this?
Yeah, like one, they're Gonzalo supporters. I just call them Gonzalo supporters. Like they are fine with me. They just don't like. They just they don't like for example, they don't like you because they think that that you hate Gonzalo, which that's not fucking true. Like
No.
whoever is watching, like it's not true. He just believes you're misrepresenting Gonzalo thought and the princely malice line, and basically the other thing is really he believes he disagrees with you guys on Gonzalo being like the fourth sword of Marxism or like the sixth head of Marxism. Like that's J that's basically kind of like Jason's position. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Like there's very few people who have like a Dangus tendency. Like Red Scare TV, I like watching his I like watching some of his stuff. Like I have no hatred towards Red Scare TV. Everybody can go check him out. But I just only have my disagreement with him on China, which to me, I'll just say my position on China again over and over again. China's not socialist, they're imperialist. They're done. uh as well as the other thing is with some Gonzalo supporters, they also hate Black Redguard where they think he's like some slumlord, and their anti-lumpenism is just fucking stupid. It's reactionary.
Black Red Guard really does understand Gonzaloism. He really does.
Yeah. He understands it more than they would, really, and
I would say he understands it more than I do.
yeah. As well as the good thing is I'm learning about basically the People's War that happened in Peru and shit like that. Which I have learned a lot so far, which is pretty great. Wait, let me check this comment. Don't be sectarian. You have YouTube. The only annoying dude that has ever been is ZZ, which is not which is not making videos anymore. Thank God he's not making any videos anymore.
Oh yeah, heads up, he's coming back.
Oh no. Fuck. That left com.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you should at least know.
Well, I never actually had to face Zexy before or Muke at all. We're just gonna have to re-put the anti-Muke gang again. Anti-Muke gang, because we're too busy being anti-Vosh here.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well as back to the question and 10. Why is everybody confused about your position on Black Red Guard? It seems sometimes that people think you hate him, and other times that you like him.
Okay, let's clarify this. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
safe to say that Black Redguard is a dick. Now, the reasons for him being a dick could vary, but I do largely get why he is the way he is. Look, personally, I don't like him because of all the shitty things that he said to me, but I respect what he knows. In terms of a lot of the theory that he gives, he's not wrong. He's right. So I
Yeah.
don't want to see him canceled or anything just because he doesn't like me. I'm saying he's got, and he doesn't like me either, and it doesn't really matter too much what he thinks of me. But I mean, it should be like I would encourage people to watch his content because it is very good. It does get to the heart of a lot of matters. It is content that people can learn a lot from studying. But this thing between him and I is he has some very wrong ideas about who I am. He largely believes that I'm like RAIM, the organization that used to exist. I'm pretty sure that's what he thinks, but I'm nothing like them. And RAIM
Yeah.
would agree that I'm nothing like them. So I'm not. So that pretty much explains that. I mean, he doesn't really like me. I don't really like him, but his content is very good, and I suggest that everybody do watch it. And that the only difference, I mean, I support the things he says. The only difference just seems to be just personal.
Yeah. Uh, as well as like for me, like I'm friends with Black Redguard, but he hasn't messaged me back in a while. I think it's because he's busy with like his organizing that's happening in Missouri. And also, let me debunk some myths over here. Sorry, not gonna lie, Revolutionary Lumpin' Radio, he's not. It's not even true. Like people say his mother is like a landlord. No, she was in prison and like she was not even a landlord, which is not even true. Next, I disagree. He's not Black
Oh no,
Vosh
no,
at
he's
all.
not Black Bosch. No.
Yeah, he's not Black Vosh. The other thing is uh like with with Black Redguard, like he has some really educational content which I recommend people go check out with on his YouTube channel. Like I like Black Redguard and like sometimes I don't talk about it that much on Discord because one, I'm afraid of the backlash. Because I always get backlash for every controversial take I have, like saying China's imperialist, or saying Cuba was a sugar colony of the USSR, or saying that I'm friends with Black Redguard or Jason Unruhe. Controversial, lol.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be friends with people I don't like. What is this, high school?
Yeah.
Oh, which
Like
I
the
just
other
said to
thing
somebody
is
who's in
like
high school. Okay, sorry.
lol. Wait, let me debunk this. He is though. I mean, again, his no, he's actually pro Lumpin. His haters are anti Lumpin. I'm not saying you are anti Lumpin, Revolutionary Lumpin Radio. I know that. It's basically like his haters who are like Gonzalez supporters are anti Lumpin, who basically hate him because he has a pro Lumpin position. And that he has to be challenged on it. It's not even personal, it's particularly to engage with his reactionary theory. You can criticize Black Redguard, but it must not be like reactionary criticism, which that is what I'm against, really. Like I've actually met somebody who has criticisms of Black Redguard and like basically it was like good faith criticism and not like reactionary. Like that's me with like criticism. Like you can have criticism of Jason Unruh's like my friend Jason here, like uh his, him being a mouse third worldist and like his ideology. It's totally fine. It's
Yeah,
totally
go
fine
ahead.
with me if you yeah, you can go disagree with him. Like I had no problems with mouse third worldism at all. Like I haven't found a problem with it yet. So I'll just have to do my investigation. Uh, but back to the questions at hand. Now, 11. Why is nonviolence failing? And do you agree that? Oh, wait. Literally, this question was retyped. Why do you think nonviolence is failing?
I would say, when has it ever worked?
Yeah. When?
It's like a strange question to me. What? Okay, did you vote? Did you push Biden left? Did you push Obama left? Did you push Bill
Yeah.
Clinton left? Did you push Jimmy Carter left? How's that going?
Yeah, the other thing is like I met somebody who gets like mad if we like kind of advocate for like self-defense or some shit like that. And like he's supposedly against violence and shit like that, but he forgets like and basically on like the basis of morality and like do they not know like how the state is immoral and literally even if you try to do shit peacefully and non-violently, the state's gonna mandate violence against you because they are amoral. Like look at the BLM protests. Look what happened at Kent State University where the National Guard shot some peaceful protesters protesting against the Vietnam War. See,
Yeah.
guys, non-violence is the way, but even though the state's still gonna mandate violence against you guys,
Yeah,
isn't that great, guy?
the next time a cop's beating the hell out of you and you're in the fetal position trying to protect yourself, just say, "Please stop."
Yeah, guys, please stop.
See if that
Oh,
works.
yeah,
This is
if it,
illegal, you know.
yeah. Basically, liberals can only appeal to abstract morality, not material conditions slash relations. True, Specky V.
Yeah.
Also, I like Specky V's comments here. We're gonna make you a mod, Specky. We're making you a mod now. You're welcome. Wait, let me do it. Shit. Why does it take me so long to make him a damn mod? Jesus Christ. Oh. And okay. There, done. I can finally Specky V is a mod now, but the other thing is like like I hate this I hate like when there's like this debate about whether or not revolution is moral or not. Like it's just stupid to even debate about it because like it's just basically like another debate like reform or revolution, which like it's just not debatable. It's just not.
Yeah,
It's like
that's already been solved from experience.
yeah, it's like either socialism or extinction. Which one? Are you gonna pick socialism or extinction? We pick socialism. We don't want extinction. If you're going like non-violence morality of the revolution, you pick my extinction. Great. Thank you. Next. Bye. But let's get to the next question. Question 12. As a indigenous trans woman, I want to ask, how do we push back against breadtube? And no one even listens to me. Try to complain or be emotional about it. Just hard. More people are likely to listen to the liberal idpol breadtube or class reductionist Caleb Maupin. Instead of my firsthand experience, I am trying not to start shit. Shit is already just happening, in my opinion. Like,
I think that the best way to handle it is to just keep going. I mean, when I started, nobody was watching me either. In fact,
yeah.
it took a while for me to get any kind of substantial audience. There has to be a counter information to BreadTube. It has to be there,
Yeah.
or they will completely dominate the conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in terms of what we can do right now. Yes, getting our stuff heard is is like the most important thing we can do at this moment.
Yeah. the other thing is like with like BreadTube and their whole shit, like literally like they're basically taking up the whole conversation entirely, like about like main issues like race, like the LGBTQ plus issues and all that shit. Like they're just taking up all of it. It's like super annoying as well.
Yeah, and
Like
it's easy because they're just appealing to the liberal position.
yeah, they
I
act
mean,
like they speak for. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say,
Before.
their position isn't that much different from the mainstream media's position.
Yeah,
So I mean,
they
that's
act
not
like they.
hard.
Yeah, they act like they speak for us, but no, you don't. Like, you don't know shit. Like, the Rad Libs don't know shit about, like, indigenous people at all. I don't think they ever got out of their, like, luxurious mansion to go, meet indigenous people in a reservation that is literally, like, complete fucking shit. Like, it's just, like, a resemblance of a third world country or even like a fourth world country.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty bad. Yeah, like conditions on a lot of reservations is
yeah. So I said this. I'm really happy that Second Thought is platforming actual leftist like Bay Area 415, Paul Martin, re-education, you got picked. I don't like Bay Area 415 because I found out he was a corporate lawyer, but it's fine if he debunks Western propaganda. It's totally fine. That's like the only thing I really like about Bay Area 415 is like when he kind of challenges the United States and its own imperialism and interventionism. But like I do like re-education. You got Pin and Paul Morin, and also Second Thought is doing some great work. Credit to Second Thought there. But like it's also the other funny thing is like literally the apologetics for these rad libs, like like Vosh fans, like oh my god, shit Vosh, I'd say. They say like they defend Vosh on everything. Like you remember you talked about like I think you talked about how uh what was it? How literally like Vosh fans were defending Vosh saying a bunch of sexist stuff towards Mexi after like his when he was debating her
dude,
after he lost that.
that's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just is it unacceptable to be sexist like that, but to respond to a debate with personal attacks. I mean, that's already messed up as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not
Like
asking you to go out and kill Vosh. We're asking you to criticize him. That's not a lot
yeah.
to ask
Yeah.
for.
LOL. LOL. Am I right, guys? Let's not get straight to YouTube again.
Yeah, no one's advocating
LOL.
violence against Vosh here. No one's advocating
Yeah.
violence at all.
Yeah. No one. Yeah. At all. We just hate Vosh. We just want him to lose his want him to just be like lose all of his credibility or for people to realize he's uncredible at all and like should not be listening to that person at all because literally he's just like his I think literally really the Radlib only purpose is like really to just de-radicalize people really. It's just to de-radicalize people who are coming into like socialism or communism at all. Like that's really what their purpose is. It's just de-radicalization. Like Vosh even admitted it, where he's like, I was thinking of bringing on Hakeem, so bringing on Hakeem just to bring these tankies over to my side, and so I can de-radicalize them like I do with like I do with Nazis and shit like that. Oh my god, it's kind of funny, not gonna lie. Oh my god, the favorite Vosh quote. My favorite Vosh quote. But the peasants were the proletariat.
That's
when
not how that works.
Yeah, like I remember Leftism Today, he mentioned like how the peasants were antagonistic to the proletariat. Like but he's
There,
like, but the peasants were wait,
I mean,
what were
there's
you gonna
always been a
say?
there's always been a history of, the difference between the cities and the countryside. That's not necessarily
Yeah,
one's reactionary, but that antagonism has always been there.
yeah. As well as like, oh my god. Specky V's just coming in here with the Vosh jokes. We want the FBI to turn against Oh my god, it reminds me of that Vosh story that Danky King reported about like how one of his friends reported him to the FBI or something like that.
It doesn't seem to have
Or
done anything.
yeah, I don't think it done anything. It's not gonna be like FBI open up. But there's some questions I got from the comment section. People want to ask you.
Yeah.
Where so somebody asked, do you think a socialist revolution in America is possible?
Not in these conditions, no.
Yeah, only resistance and legal deterrence is possible. That's what it is. Uh, what else? Somebody else wanted to ask me something. Let's see. Where is it? Trying to think of something. Oh, somebody asked, has the pink purple girl recovered from COVID-19 yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they were
Yeah,
saying that, but yeah, from what I heard, yes.
yeah, yeah. Like, I also wanted to ask you like an off-topic question. Has your position on like basically Gonzalez and Sakai's changed uh like after you made that video about like Gonzalez and Zacchaeus and shit like that? Has your position changed in any way?
Not any major change.
Just like little incremental changes.
Yeah, like basically all the stuff I already like explained here when we were talking about
Yeah.
Gonzalez.
Yeah. I want to ask you this thing, which I keep hearing this from people who repeat it, like people who just like repeat this, like reaffirmed opinion, like where it goes down to even like smaller content creators who are like near 1,000 subs, where they say Maoism never existed in material reality. Is that true, or is that just completely just false as fuck?
What does that even mean?
Like, it just makes no sense. They say that Maoism never existed in material reality. Like, it
Then
just
what
makes no
happened in
sense in my
China?
opinion.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
statement doesn't make any sense.
that statement doesn't hold up at all.
No, it would require elaboration.
Yeah. As well as like I want to ask you to debunk these two myths. That the masses have rejected Maoism and that uh the masses have rejected protracted People's War.
Depends on what you mean, but if we're gonna say the context of the United States, I assume.
Basically, yeah, and really like the global masses or something like that.
Okay. Um, in terms of the United States, I don't think they've rejected Maoism. They've rejected Marxism in general. So I would say that there's nothing unique to Maoism in that regard. But as for them, Maoism being rejected internationally, I don't see that as being true because once
Yeah,
Maoism came out, there was a wave of a bunch of different revolutions based on Maoism. So I don't like the Naxals are Maoist. The NPA are
Yeah.
Maoist. Like I don't know what they're
Yeah.
talking about when they're saying that the masses rejected it.
Yeah, like I'm in contact with like for example, the chief information officer of the Filipino Maoists. As well as like the other thing is like I found no evidence of like the masses rejecting protracted people's war at all, in my opinion. Cause like the masses and like I remember the Naxals, like where like places or parts of India that are controlled under the Naxal, basically the people support the Naxals and think they're literally like like a force for good in the places they are uh that are under their control entirely. As well as like I want to ask you, do you think there might be any like Maoist revolutions that might win? Uh
They all might win, but none of them are even close to doing so.
because like I remember you were saying like the Naxals were like dying and the Filipino Maoists were like dying or something like that.
Yeah, the Naxals have been hit really hard by COVID. Like, I mean, all of India's been massively hit by COVID, but particularly, in the poorer areas where the Naxals would be, it makes sense. And from a lot of the information has come out, the NPA has largely shrunk in the last little while.
I was gonna say that's like I was hearing a lot of victories coming out from the MPA and
Oh
like
yeah, they're still
the
like
Naxals.
they're still winning like like battles there.
Yeah, like for example, did you hear about the NPA like waging like where they did like 16 attacks in like 9 provinces?
Yeah, I'm just saying
Yeah.
their numbers
Like
today compared to 10 years ago.
yeah. As well as like did you hear like the news so far with May Day where like did you hear about how for example there's like now a new Maoist org in Nepal now. They just formed one.
So, but yeah, the last time I checked, there was like 12 of them. I mean, there was
I
like
did not know.
12 different factions in the government, all claiming to be Maoist. So I'm not really
Wow.
sure which one these guys
They,
particularly are. I mean, if you got something, link it to me because I would definitely like to read it.
yeah, they announced their creation like yesterday. So it's fairly new in my opinion.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
as well
yeah,
as
it is
like
new.
oh, yeah, like as well as like literally with May Day so far, like holy fucking shit. Like people were protesting from east to west coast here in the United States, which is what we call the Imperial Core, or basically the hellhole we're all living in, guys. Welcome to living in the hellhole called the United States. At least Jason's not living in this hellhole. Jason's
And
lucky not
there's
living
there's
in the
not
United.
not too much of a difference. I mean, yeah, there's
Yeah,
differences, but I'm still in the situation.
like near the Imperial Core because you live in Niagara Falls, which like it's just like a bit of a drive to like New York, and then boom, you're here. You're in the Imperial Core.
Yeah.
Welcome to hell, the Imperial Core. Oh, Marxist Leninist Mouse Revolution wants to ask you this. I have a question to Jason Unruh. You agree we need to start building up movements right now and stop waiting for China, North Korea, or Cuba to save us? Question mark.
Oh, none of those are going to save us. I mean, like, what is North
Yeah.
Korea going to like? This is Red Dawn, like, where there's suddenly,
Well,
the DPRK is going to show up and invade the U.S. Oh, Cuba. I mean, come
oh
on,
wait,
Cuba.
Cuba's dead. Cuba's been dead for a while.
So I
Like,
would say
you,
we have to do we have to do our own shit. Ain't nobody coming to
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah. Like the DPRK is not gonna go Posadas gang. Oh, LOL, if the DPRK ever went literally full Posadas gang, where they just went just to Posadism, where they just go like nuke the world theory. Boom. Like
Socialism with
that's just
Fallout
some.
characteristics.
Oh my god. Or socialism of American characteristics. Oh, this is a question I want to ask you. Can you give an in-depth explanation of why socialism of American characteristics, aka repackaged Americanism, is just complete revisionist bullshit?
Okay, well, one, repackaging America is a mistake in and of itself. I mean, suffice to say that America was never a good thing. I mean, it was founded on genocide. It was founded on slavery. It was founded on guys who believed that the regular person shouldn't be able to vote, and then went out of their way to make sure that the regular person couldn't vote by putting, the polling station where you vote 10 miles away from where you lived. And in horse and buggy days, 10 miles was pretty goddamn far. You couldn't afford to go. I mean, there was nothing virtuous to it. So what are you repackaging? You're repackaging the same old nonsense. But I would say
Yeah.
that the main problem, which from a technical standpoint, that I would say is that the first world overconsumes. And I mean, like, what are you
Yeah.
like? That the thing, it would take like 3 or 4 point something. Yeah, it would take 3 point something planet Earths for the whole world to be able to consume at the level of the United States, and it's not possible. It's physically impossible. And if you're just going to take that and then make that socialism, it's not sustainable. I mean, let's look at this from a realistic standpoint. If there was a real
Yeah.
revolution that happened in the United States, what do you think would happen? I would say tens of millions of people would die. Now, the reason I say that is, okay, we're assuming that at the point of revolution, the market breaks down, the system is in chaos, transportation for things isn't running because the profit motive isn't running because everything's in chaos. Pretty much everything is done by factory farms in the US. And if there's no profit motive there, those factory farms aren't going to run. It's not like how it was in pre-revolutionary China and Russia, where it was all peasants on family plots and landlords and stuff like that who even if you did, they could still produce things. They were still going to produce no
Yeah.
matter what. But these factory farms are going to shut down, and you're probably looking at a mass starvation. I think if you really had a revolution like that, and the living standard of the average American went down that much, I think a lot of them would revolt against the revolution and demand the old ways come back.
Yeah. The other thing is like, for example, with this like socialism with AK American bullshit characteristics, which I'm gonna just keep just making fun of it and just be opposed to it till my entire lifetime. Where like the other thing I also hate is like how they think like they're gonna try to make the American masses or the masses here to be like pro China when it's like when everybody here, like if you're in the Midwest, like or like here in West Virginia, do you think anybody's gonna like China? Because like all their jobs got outsourced and all just moved to China. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. And like it's just
Well,
stupid.
it's not China's fault, but I get what you're saying. They still do blame
Yeah,
China
no,
for it.
yeah. Yeah. They blame China for
Yeah.
something they didn't really do. Like
I don't think they're going to look at their global competitor and say, "Oh yeah, in solidarity with you." I mean, let's face it, China is trying to take over the spot of the number one economic power in the world. I mean, they are a competitor
yeah.
for the United States. They're not making, socialist overtures to in solidarity, China is outright undermining the U.S. in order to take over its spot. So I don't know how you're
Yeah.
supposed to ally with somebody who is your direct opposition. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, that would make more
As
sense
well.
if you said Venezuela and Iran, because they're not trying to one up each other. They're both in a similar position and showing solidarity. That would be the difference, I would say, in that case.
Yeah. The other thing is like I remember you also mentioned how it doesn't have an answer to decolonialism. Can you explain that a little bit more in depth?
I would say that every every country has its own material conditions when it comes to doing revolution. And I think a major problem with the United States, Canada, Australia is that there is a question of the fact that these were founded on settler colonial principles. And they are. They're settler colonial societies. And that is a major part of who and what they are. I mean, that's a major part of America. America was founded on the theft of land. Canada was founded on the theft of land. That's the basis for what these are. And if that's not addressed, how can people say that they're dealing with the material conditions of that country?
Yeah. Like the other thing is like I was gonna say somebody wants to ask you this question. Jason, should we aid the Cuban youth correct? They want to reverse the privatization that recently got voted in. I just came from there or something like that, they said.
Yeah, it definitely should support the Cuban youth. I mean, that seems to be the situation with Cuba. It seems like the people are more socialist than the government is.
Yeah. Also,
And I
like,
think,
I'm going to kind of agree with Croatian Bolshevik. Cuba is not socialist. And I kind of do believe it was, like, never socialist because when I was doing my research for my video about how it was a sugar colony, like, holy shit. It was crazy. I found there was this letter that Che Guevara last wrote to Fidel where he said that he shouldn't have trusted him at all and how like Fidel out of nowhere like in the 60s now declares himself like uh a Marxist Leninist all of a sudden went to just only get the aid from the Soviets. As well as like, did you see that Reuters article where they're talking about like Cuba and shit where I told you to like check the story out on Skype before?
yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, I labeled it Crisis of Cuban Revisionism. That's what I got from a friend of mine, a mouse friend of mine, where basically like they said they were going to decentralize their economy and literally that they were going to let the private sector work unfeathered and all that shit and literally just are going to be fine with privatization, all that shit entirely.
Hmm.
Yeah. As well as there's like a whole debate in the chat about Cuba now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not Gonzalez. No, I'm not. I basically have like basically I'm kind of like friends with people who are like Gonzalo supporters. Like I've actually met them. Like I'm kind of more charitable to them because I haven't had bad experiences with them. Okay. Uh and basically oh wait. Do you have any oh wait, I gotta go. I gotta go too. Do you have any last words before we have to go? Before we have to go
Never stop
end the
struggling.
stream.
Never stop
Yep.
struggling. It's always right
Yep.
to rebel.
Yep. As well as I'm going to say my closing statements. thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to go to the link down in the description to Jason's socials, and don't forget to join my Discord servers. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.
See you guys.